Well, okay. In terms of, I don't know if this is a good question, but should I be on the East Coast or the West Coast?
Ooh, that's a really good question. East Coast or West Coast?
That sounds great.
What we're gonna do, because I like to do this with either ors, is we're gonna do a West Coast thoughts and we're gonna do an East Coast thoughts.
Great.
So let's start with our West Coast vibes. Let's start with staying on the West Coast. Ooh. Oh, very interesting.
Oh, again?
Mm-hmm. Both cards. There's some themes up in this bitch.
Wow.
Oh, okay. And now this is what we're getting for our East Coast. Ooh. 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 Well, we're definitely getting some East Coast vibes up in here. But we'll go with if you stay in the West Coast, this is, and then go to the East Coast. So West Coast, you know, you got your West Coast blinders on. You got a little blindfold on here. It's your home. You're not really seeing it for what it is. And those those comforts that you have are like keeping a blindfold over you to seeing your real situation. However, you do have a good balance of work and life here. So you do have that good balance of work and social life, love life, like personal life balance here. A lot more of that. This is just, you know, assuming, this is just the way. You might be staying here for a man's perspective. The man in your life might want to be here a little bit more than the East Coast. And his opinions would definitely be to stay here, but he is actually not growing here, and he would grow more there.
Interesting.
Yes, he's kind of stagnant here. So the male energy, and it could be your male energy as well, but the male energy is very in your life is stagnant here. So I can see them better. Now, you have worked really hard for where you want to be, and your hard work will pay off on the East Coast.
Sweet.
Your dreams are not false. They're not, you know, you're not being Delulu.
I'm not the Delulu.
They're not Delulu. Your dreams are not Delulu, okay? Your dreams are not getting, you know, you're not living in a fantasy land world. It's definitely, your dreams are anchored in reality.
Cool.
However, male figures who have power in your life might, and this isn't like relationship males, this is like bosses, bookers, agent, like people, right. Men who have control over you and like leadership over you might push back at you being on the East Coast. And you might have to deal with that pushback, but ultimately it's going to lead to a much more prosperous, financially, it is a lot more prosperous for you to be on the East Coast. So overall, we got in Los Angeles, you know, you have the blinders of home, but you are more balanced out here. Whereas on the East Coast, you have more of an abundance of success. So your abundance of success on the East, you're kind of choosing between success and balance.
That really tracks. That really tracks. And then it's like, which one do we want?
Do you want balance or success?
Oh, I want it all.
Yeah, that's a deal with your therapist.
That's exactly.
Excuse
true.
me, therapist. Which one? Because that's a hard choice. That is probably the hardest choice, especially for women, that we have to decide.
Yeah.
So I definitely see the West Coast more being about like family, you know, that kind of feeling, and East Coast is like boss ass bitch.
Yes.
Success, reigning in that cash.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, your big three are Sun in Virgo, Moon in Aquarius, me too, And your rising is Scorpio. Very, very interesting. That one surprised me.
Yeah?
Yeah, I was really surprised by that. But we're not talking about those basic placements. Today, we're going to be getting a little spicy and talking about all your spicy placements. Now, when I read astrology charts, when I'm looking for spicy, sultry sexiness, I'm looking at your Mars, Venus, and Lilith.
All right.
Okay? So we're going to go ahead and start with your Lilith because Lilith is one of my favorite placements. It's an asteroid that is constantly circling our Earth.
Oh.
And it is representative of our female empowerment, dark feminine side. So a lot about sex in us, okay? Your Lilith is in Capricorn, which is very interesting. You're definitely very much a clean in the streets, freak in the sheets kind of lady. You're a boss ass bitch in the streets, but when those doors close,
Oh my God.
you can get freaky. This placement also creates a very strong desire for power and material success, as well as a tendency to be overcritical of yourself and a little bit of a perfectionist.
Wow, yes.
Especially when it comes to your darker feminine needs. You are much more of a perfectionist when it comes to your sexual appetite and how you are in bed. You're very much do I look good? Am I performing well? That kind of thing, kind of in your head about things. You're definitely a boss babe all the way. Your dark feminine energy is a CEO.
I love that. I agree.
You intimidate men very easily, whether you think you do or not. And you can use your sexual prowess to be a social climber and to climb up.
Uh-oh.
In the, and maybe not by having sex, but by showcasing your femininity.
Yeah.
You're very mature, like I said, lady in the streets, freak in the sheets. Another possibility is to be able to meet romantic partners at work. I know that you are already married, but I don't know how you guys met. Did you meet in the office by any chance?
We did not. Our friends introduced us.
Very nice. That actually matches up with your Mars sign. We'll get into that in a little bit. You definitely are more dominant when it comes to the bedroom, and you're likely to have themes of restriction show up. And if you've never tried it, you should, because it might spice things up.
Okay.
Tying up the other person, a little kinkiness in there. So that's your Lilith. Your Mars is in Virgo, which is very funny because our last guest's Mars was also in Virgo.
Really?
You are very straightforward when it comes to sexual relationships or, sexual desires. You're this is what I want. Let's do it. You are very attracted to cleanliness and hygiene. So if someone is clean, put together, that is especially a man that's very masculine, cleanly masculine man is very attractive. But you like the idea of getting dirty and then cleaning up.
Oh.
So if you get each other dirty and then clean each other up, that might spice it up a little bit too. Shower sex, good stuff there. Virgo also rules the stomach area. So being kissed, touched there, and all that good stuff could turn you on as well. A kink that you should try is doctor-patient, where you're the doctor,
of course,
or teacher-student, where you're the teacher.
Oh.
That would be a fun game to play. Spice up that marriage, baby. Spice it up. Mars is in your 11th house, though, and this is where comes in the friends thing. You could meet your sexual partner through a friend group, through a group setting, very much social aspect in that way. A little side note, and I'm not normally focusing on this, but I thought it was a very cute placement.
Oh.
So your North Node is conjunct with your Juno. Juno is another asteroid in the sky, and it represents marriage. Oh. Your North Node is your destiny. So I thought it was so cute because you and your husband are so cute that your start of your destiny was marriage. So you guys getting married was the catalyst to you, you know, bursting forward into your destiny of your life.
That's so cute.
Isn't that so cute?
Aww.
That's not really sexy, but I had to share it because it was adorable.
Yeah.
All right.
He'll like that.
He will. You can go home and tell him. You can be like, you're my destiny.
Like, guess what?
You're my destiny. But it also gives you a very vulnerable, open heart as well, in just everyday life. Yeah. That conjunction.
Very sensitive.
Now, last thing, we're going to move on to your Venus. Okay. Your Venus is in Leo, which is a very fun placement. Celebs that have this placement are Nicole Kidman, Pamela Anderson,
Even better,
and Lindsay Lohan.
Okay, that
queen
absolutely tracks. We are in a Lohan-assance. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. She's coming back. Do you see how
she looks amazing?
She looks amazing.
I'm honored.
Yeah, she is.
Honestly, it's like the rise. Her and Paris Hilton. We're
here.
Party girls on the rise.
Yeah, we're here for it. Our generation's coming back. Okay, we're coming back, and we're here to stay.
I love it.
That's all I have to say about that. So, people with Venus in Leo, you're very bold, very lush, very much like playful, expressive when it comes to your dating and love life, okay? So like having fun with your partner, being out there, being, you know, very much the star of the show. Yeah, that'll be good for you. Now, your Venus sign is also how you should be dressing, which a lot of people use their rising sign, and that does work. But and that's more how you look, your physical body. But if you want to feel like the best you've ever felt, you need to lean into your Venus sign. And I just say this as suggestions. I don't do it because I have an Aries Venus, and I'm not going to wear black and red all day, every day. But with a Leo and Venus, you want to have like well-structured, very luxurious material, very much golds, you know, flashy sparkles, that kind of vibe. Definitely, it makes people look at you. You know, it makes you noticed. It brings out most of your aura. Some colors that are good, like I said, gold, more earthy tones, purples, and like oranges and like sunset colors. So like purple is included in that. So like kind of like sunset-y colors. Right. That makes you pop when you're, so like going out, going on stage, when you're in like those settings, it's really good to follow this stuff. Prints, animal prints, bold, fun, very out there styles and prints. And the silhouettes should be exaggerated. So you want to show your body for sure.
All right.
So we're gonna
I like that.
Get on that.
Yes.
Yeah. So when you're doing your comedy and stuff, think
less baggy.
More,
look at this.
More booty.
I like that. Less baggy, more booty.
Yeah, exactly.
We can do that.
Great. Well, that was your little
gosh.
sultry astrology.
It's so fun.
Yay.
It's so funny too because it feels like I recognize some of that, you know, and maybe some of that's been buried, you know, like since you get married. Well, you know, you're married.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're like,
Yeah.
Like that's how I feel. I'm always like,
yeah.
But I like it.
Yeah. Yay.